Beth, this is Jess. We are part of Visit Chichester, pitching our action programme, 20 Things to Do with Your Family in 2016, to gain funding from the LEADER programme in order to boost the visitor economy in Chichester district area, which covers an area of over 300 square miles.
So our creative idea is derived from the National Trust 50 Things to Do Before You're 11 3/4. We have developed the idea to add value to the existing visitor experience available in rural Chichester. The initiative has been developed to invite the local community to engage with small enterprises and resident attractions through an online application which serves as a diary for our young families. In order to make it realistic for families to follow our programme, we have divided our 20 activities by season, ensuring parents can manage their children's expectations surrounding recreational activities. 20 Things to Do with Your Family in 2016 will be launched on the 1st of January 2016 with an expected end date of 31st of December 2016. This will be updated yearly with new locations and activities to complete. So Sean and Dawes have listed the benefits of family leisure as increasing family communication, developing life skills, creating family unity and strengthening family functions. Therefore, we feel that this is a project needed to gather the local community together and see areas of Chichester District that are yet so far undiscovered. Visit Chichester currently works to publicise local initiatives and boost the awareness of Chichester's current visitor base in order to maximise the local spend in the local area.
Okay, so taken from Chichester District Council, we know that Chichester District has considerable tourism assets which historically have always made the district an attractive place to visit. As a result, 5.7 million visitors go to the district every year, spending in total 375 million. In Chichester District, tourism and leisure already generates significant direct expenditure and is the largest private sector employer, but the potential market is still huge, and considering the share that the market already has being captured by other South Coast destinations, for example Brighton, Bournemouth, the Isle of Wight, New Forest and Kent, there is a clear and growing market for holidays and short breaks in areas such as ours. So to make our programme fit with the 645 local-based businesses in the district, we can use these local businesses to promote and link with the activities that we have chosen. The surrounding areas of the Chichester district include South Downs National Park, Chichester Harbour, AONB, Arundel and Hayling Island, amongst many more, all of which contain attractions that could be included in 20 Things to Do with Your Family 2016. The huge variety of attractions make differentiation between businesses difficult to achieve, meaning marketing through programmes such as this is highly beneficial. Although there is no specific programmes that focus on outdoor activities for family in Chichester, there are websites such as Day Out with the Kids that highlight different categories of entertainment and then continues to specify locations and businesses that can facilitate those activities. As briefly mentioned, the National Trust runs a programme, 50 Things to Do Before You're 11 3/4, which encourages families to engage with the 50 identified tasks for children. Although not a direct competitor in terms of location, the website allows you to search for the best place to complete an activity within your local business. In order to compete successfully with the stated projects, 20 Things to Do with Your Family 2016 will emphasise benefits for all by linking with the local businesses to attract families to continue their outings by then attracting the parents to other aspects of Chichester District on top of the recreational activities for the children. This could be a local pub, a campsite, a B&B to entice families to stay the whole weekend, which will inevitably increase the average spend of the visitor by extending their visit.
So through all the activities being completed throughout the course of the year, it can be a huge benefit for a lot of businesses who tend to be busy just in the summer periods, when more families tend to go outdoors. However, with this programme, we intend to ensure that there are activities every season of the year to increase business footfall and our vision of bringing the local community together all year round. Not only will it benefit the amount of visitors visiting the business, but will also impact the visitor economy and reputation of Chichester District. If local businesses want to participate in this programme, then this will prove that they have the same vision of engaging with the community as we do at Visit Chichester. With this in mind, each activity and season will affect the businesses in a different way, dependent on what is in the local area.
Okay, so the first season that we looked at is spring, and within this season we looked at 5 different activities for the whole family to enjoy, as spring is a very busy season for plants and animals. Firstly, plant it, grow, eat it, going on a long bike ride, finding frog spawn, go stargazing, and explore inside a tree. For each element, we would use the online interactivity and the app to indicate the best places to visit for each of these activities, which then relates back to where you would be able to go afterwards or before, so that businesses are also benefiting from this programme, and so that everyone would be able to make a day out for the family or a weekend out of each activity instead of just a few hours. Focusing on going stargazing, South Downs 2015 stated that less than 10% of the UK population can see the beauty of a natural night sky full of stars. So the reason that we've chosen the South Downs as the best location is because it is rated one of the most light polluted regions of the UK, showing that they have truly dark areas in the South Downs. We would use this location as our main focus to start the action programme. If a family was to choose this activity, then we would use the app to highlight which stars that they were looking at when arriving, with information about each area of the South Downs. Alongside this, we would advertise that Blackberry Wood campsite is nearby and somewhere that families could camp when completing this activity, to make a weekend out of the trip to see the South Downs and the stars in it. The campsite costs £17 per night, and this is for 1 people and 1 tent space, 1 person and 1 tent. With camping, sometimes a nice warm meal is all you need, therefore the Jolly Sportsman, an award-winning pub, is just I'm really sorry, would also be marketed, as it's just a short stroll away from Blackberry Wood campsite. So when advertising the stargazing trip, we would also have an itinerary planner and a map of all the local pubs and areas to visit whilst doing these activities. This would ensure that the campsite has customers throughout spring and into the summer period.
So next we'll look at summer, as it is known already for the outdoor activity period for families. Orlet stated that very warm temperatures and very bright sunlight for a long period of day make it possible to spend a deal of time outdoors. With this in mind, we have chosen activities that wouldn't affect people in the summer period. For example, jumping over waves, flying a kite, rolling down a big hill, catching a crab, and discovering what's in a pond. We have chosen to look more in depth at using jumping over the waves as an activity at West Wittering to enjoy the summer breeze with your family. We would market this as being an area which has a lot of other aspects to it by ensuring that an interactive activity could be taken with them to see how big the waves were, for example. Around the West Wittering area are a few locations that could also entertain the families further. So these are the National Trust in East Head, along with the Landing, a local coffee shop. In addition to this, there is a beach cafe and a windsurfing kite surfing club. This might be used also in the summer period, so therefore, this might be busy, in the summer period, so therefore if families were planning this activity, then we would send a link to this business on our website to ensure that the booking is being made before they head down to West Wittering. If a weekend was to be made so that other aspects of Chichester District could be explored, then Wittering B&B, self-catering holiday homes, caravan and camping facilities are nearby, available for families. Again, this would be quite busy over the summer period. With these types of accommodation, lunch and dinner would need to be found for the family, and with this in mind, the Crown and Anchor Delkey is a restaurant nearby.
Okay, so autumn is the time when visitors tend to move towards indoor activities, as the days have less light and less hours, meaning the weather becomes colder and wetter. However, we have chosen activities that can still be completed in rainy and cold weather. So making a mud pie, running around in the rain, blackberry picking, down a stream, and hunting for bugs. We looked at using hunting for bugs to explain this season. Pagham Harbour is a location we could advertise to create a more interactive way of keeping track of the bugs that have been hunted. The programme would also include a tick sheet that can be printed from our website for kids to complete when hunting for certain bugs in the area, as this drives a more focused task for the children. This could also be an activity that is educational based and therefore relate back to the local Tangmay Military Aviation Museum alongside the Harbour Park, which is a theme park and water park for children. Through the autumn months, we will need to ensure that through our marketing and through our online interactions, we emphasise the opening times of different activities, as they are likely to vary depending on the time of year.
So winter is a time of year that would make local businesses stop doing outdoor activities for the local community because of the weather. However, through 20 Things to Do with Your Family 2016, they can interact with a variety of activities that can be enjoyed by the whole family. Firstly, playing on snow, going on a long walk, tracking wild animals, cooking on a campfire, or visiting a farm. After any of these activities, families will tend to look for an added bonus to go to afterwards, as the weather is cold and would want a warm meal. Therefore, local pubs and restaurants would benefit greatly in the winter from this programme. We have chosen to talk more about going to visit a farm in the winter season, and specifically chose Talon's Fruit Farm as a prime location where you can pick your own fruit. From this, there's a website which emphasises what you can do with the fruit by incorporating different recipes. We can link this idea to create recipes for the winter, so when picking your own apples at the farm, you can then learn how to make a warm apple pie for the family. In addition to this, Talon's Fruit Farm has their own farm shop where you can purchase handmade apple juice from the farm. This can be a reason to visit the Kingford Village shop as well, between Petworth and Billinghurst, which also has apple juice which is from the fruit farm, therefore educating children about the local produce.
Okay, so for this programme, we would be using £25,000 from Visit Chichester, which would be spread across the online application and website. A small portion of this budget will be utilised for our print media and promotional marketing, as we would go ahead to create brochures and flyers to market within the local businesses where these activities take place, so families can come back if already visiting the area for different reasons. Brochures could be used as a static source for the local businesses, whereas the flyers could be used to distribute within magazines or the websites to inform visitors about local events happening in the area. We have split the portion of the budget into creating an app, website and then print media, leaving a portion of the budget to use with maintenance.
So the app would be user-friendly, therefore we need to ensure that it's compatible with Android and iPhones. People would need to create a profile so then we can log their activity. The app would be free to download, however we would use a rating system on the app for future improvements. It would also be compatible with our website. Therefore, apps are the way forward and would interact with customers more. Thomas stated that having an app for your business or promotion or whatever it may be can be a game-changing marketing tool to drive traffic and revenue.
The webpage for 20 Things to Do with Your Family 2016 will be the main portal for customer engagement. It is from the website that parents can print activity sheets for their children where they can document the different things that they have learnt and achieved. It is imperative that the website is developed with bold colours and pictures, making it as visually appealing as possible. The webpage will be based on the existing website for Visit Chichester and will feature under their tab for things to do. In order to track customer engagement, all participants of the programme will be required to create an account and log their details, and once completed their account will link to the mobile application so that progress can be documented on the move. Many of the destinations listed on the project will suffer from bad service, e.g. lack of mobile signal, meaning the webpage itself will be used as a base for consumers to pre-plan their trips and activities.
So next we looked at printed media. So a brochure is useful because if there is no signal, then information can still be given and directed to families at the organised activities. However, we would need to create 4 lots of these brochures to advertise the 4 different seasons' activities in the year. In addition to this, we would create 50,000 flyers for each season to distribute to the local areas, as well as adding them online to reach a wider audience. We would use the Initiatives magazine to reach local households in the district, as it is a circulation of 63,000 family, homes and businesses.
To ensure that 20 Things to Do with Your Family 2016 is a success, we plan to utilise social media and levels of engagement. Families will be invited to post pictures of their days out, which will document their achievements. From this, Visit Chichester will use these pictures to create an online competition for the best picture. Another way to monitor whether visitors are using the specified locations to complete the activity set are by the amount of people that register onto the website. This can be another aspect in which a log of the activity can be kept for the family. A more physical representation of the families that are engaging with the project can also be derived from a branded sign placed in all 20 of the location-based activities. Families can list their last name and the date of their visit to mark their participation in the project.
So one of the main risks associated with 20 Things to Do with Your Family 2016 is that the hosting webpage is not designed to attract under 18s, meaning any child who is privy to the webpage has been introduced to it via their parents or guardian. As the webpage for the project has been designed specifically for children, if parents do not introduce them to the project, the webpage is unlikely to gain any online traffic. In order order to combat the issue, flyers for 20 Things to Do with Your Family 2016 will be distributed within all primary schools in Chichester District to directly target our primary audience. As previously mentioned, internet signal, whilst on location, is a variable which is out of our control. Due to this, via the website, when families chose their activity to be completed, they will receive top tips from Visit Chichester. For example, make sure you print off your activity sheet. Signal is not great up there, and keep track of what you find, and make sure you upload your best pick later. In addition to this, the target market we are aiming towards with an app would be beneficial to use, as children wouldn't be able to log their activity as they wouldn't have their phone, therefore would become reliant on their parents. Finally, another risk that could occur is that local businesses within Chichester District do not want to partake in this programme with Visit Chichester, meaning that no extra bonus could be added to our activities to bring the local community together. To overcome this issue, we would use an incentive of free marketing on the Visit Chichester website and on 20 Things to Do with Your Family 2016 webpage to exclusively use their business to connect with each activity. Thank you. Any questions?
George, would you like to start this time? You want me to go?
No, you
Okay.
make it so close.
Right, first of all, Yumia, you had a year in industry, okay? Right. I don't care, you've still got to do it. What were you doing that really OCD I was going to stand up and do it? When you're presenting, do me a favour, take bloody hands out your pockets. You don't stand there like, oh, you know.
I know.
You were like this, it was just the most not engaging presentation
I'm
from
sorry.
somebody that's had a year out.
I'm sorry.
Why are you using sheets of paper?
That's long. That script is long.
That's not, yeah, but you've had a year out. You two have had a year out. Okay? So I do have higher expectations of you two because you know what it's like. Okay? So you shouldn't be using pieces of paper, you should be blitzing it. So just watch that when you present. With this concept work, it bloody well would, and I'm going to do it. I think it could work. Alright, I like the idea very much. It needs a polish in certain areas. Particularly if we're thinking about the pitch, there's a couple of things. You'll radius things out. First of all, where are you aiming? We're aiming for the Chichester District. So your 10-mile radius doesn't work because you don't get to Petworth or Midhurst if you only do 10 miles. You come up shy this side of both locations. So I would say I wouldn't worry about the location, I would just say it's a Chichester District-based programme which covers you. You don't need to worry about it, you just then highlight the districts and all the aspects that are in it. Because what you then did is when you started then putting out locations like stargazing, we've gone to Southampton. And we were outside the area, and if this was funding for my activity, it's not. You've linked because you've gone outside into different areas. I think the concept works. I'm not sure I would do it by season because you're almost saying you can only do stargazing in the spring. Do you know what I mean? You're almost limiting it.
To be honest, we were trying to find a way to kind of...
Activity first.
Pardon?
Just do the activity first.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Because what you then do is you say stargazing, and you talk about the value of stargazing in the same, because that's one of their big projects, and you could have linked to that.
Okay.
And then say, this is something you can do all the way through the year. Because you see different stars at different times of the year, and for different, the moon, and then also and link
So
it
we
to
could
that.
have said, like, you can actually do all these in the
Yes, and then link that to, for example, the South House Planetarium. And said, actually, we could do this in conjunction with John Mason at South House, and link that business in. So you could bring their event program into it and say, look, you can often do that links to that.
Yeah.
And got them in as a partner. Because that's the thing that John Mason in Chai would just jump at. Because they're really keen to do things like that. Also, when you did Catch a Wave, you can equally go down to West Witterings in the summer, but it's just as nice to go down to East Head on a wintry day when it's blustery because it's different. So the experience is around the activity, not necessarily the season, because the season almost says, well, you can only do that then.
Okay.
But if it's that way around, I'm just in my head, can I make this work on my website? And I think I could make it work on our website. All right, and this is where the money would go. I just found it. I think the concept is great. I just found it a little bit messy when you were going off to, and we're going to link to this business, and the way you were presenting it was just a little bit rushed. and I had difficulty getting it round. You also left it quite late to actually discuss the concept, and I would have put that in sooner, because we were, okay, what is it, what are you going to do? And so you should have said, look, this is a National Trust one, this is our equivalent, this is what it's going to look like, and set the context of it, and then put everything around that. And then, because I think there was some good, when you get into it and you slow down, and I almost have to watch it again, you talk about some good points in the website, and I was saying, come on, explain why it's because you talk about the app, you talk about the website, you did get to the point about it needs to be an app, it needs to be downloadable because you don't have Wi-Fi coverage in rural areas, which is really important. You talk about the Initiatives magazine, exactly, because we can get copy in the Initiatives magazine because we have the link with CDC, and that's how you get the families involved with that. I don't think you'd limit it to 20. I think that what would happen is something, what's the longevity of this? Because you put your start date as December 2016. Alright? The point you should have made is actually this will grow. Because you start off with X number, and then the idea is as soon as families start engaging with it, they then put their own ideas in.
Yeah, that's what we were going to do. So we said we'd start it at the 20 and do it just for a year and then make a few.
And then it grows. But I've got to think ahead. This is because it will never go into a Jan 2016. You'd never get this up and running for Jan where we are now. It's an Easter. If you could get somebody to sit down, because at the very essence, what is it? It's somebody sitting down and putting it all together on a website in the first instance. And that's what I'm thinking of probably doing over Christmas. I could make this happen just by doing some fact sheets that people put down as PDFs. I like the idea that you talk about people logging in and keeping a diary of things they actually know. I think that's got real merit. There are some things in here that I could happen, that could physically do. I think it's quite exciting because it works. It shows me it works. I need to go to the council. Stuff the leader funding. I could go to the council and get £1,000 grant funding for this, and just get somebody in to develop, somebody on an hourly rate, sit down and start putting things together. I think the concept is good. I just think your final presentation, and I'm going to say, when you're sitting in the library doing it on Friday, you've left it to the last minute, and that does come over just a little bit. That it just needs to be a little bit more polished. You just
I don't think we would even try and deny that.
No, you did leave it to the last minute. All right, you've had loads of time to do it. If you've just used that time a little bit more effectively, this could have been developed and polished just a little bit better. Because the underpinning, I think, is very sound, and it shows an area-based approach. Perhaps you could have drawn that out a little bit more in terms of the benefits it's going to bring, and landscape. You did mention the idea of local distinctiveness. If you think about some of the key concepts that we've covered in the module, sense of place and storytelling and stuff like that, just a little bit more context would have helped stay. But the core essence of it, I think, is solid. It just needs polish.
Yeah. I think we need that.
And your presentation just needs... At this level, the notes have got to go.
Yeah.
You can't stand here and... You've got to be, this is what we're doing. And you know exactly that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Basically mirror comments really. The first one, and I have a big, kind of note in here in my notes, which is, I think you went back to front really because all throughout the first 10 minutes I was asking myself, well, is this a website? Is this a leaflet? How does it actually work? And as Andy said, from the work of second slide, which should have been, well, this comes mirroring what NT is doing. We're going to do a website, leaflet, app, etc., etc. And that will, kind of clear my mind on how the thing actually works. So, I mean, that's not a line from there really. Something that I would have liked to see that again is kind of implying your presentation. But I think you need to make that link much more stronger rather than just giving examples, which is sort of, the premise of your 20 things to do is that enhances economic activity in the district. But you cannot tell me, well, this is going to happen with, you go camping, you go to a pub. Why don't you put that as a conceptual, if you like, sort of the mechanism, a slide that explains what is the mechanism that you're going to use to actually develop that economic activity throughout each of your sort of activities or stuff that you're picking up. How that's going to happen? Sort of, a bit more sort of the thinking process behind, and not just give me sort of, example. Well, it's campsite the X campsite, you can go camp there and it's going to cost you $225. It's more like, well, more around the methodology. So, we're going to look at what, for each activity, we're going to pick up the significant providers on the district, identify what would be the locations or the activities that would benefit those providers, and sort of pull them out on the information that we're developing. Sort of having a bit more of sort of why we choose that campsite rather than here's a campsite, here's a pub. It would have been much more helpful for me, really.
But that's a really good point, because it's from a process point of view. Because you imagine on the website thing is that you would have a page for each activity, and then you'd have probably a little website that says nearby.
Yeah.
Because you've got to make the distinction between, is it for me as a local resident or is it for a visitor? It should be for both.
Yeah.
That's where what you could have pulled out at the start, and again context, is that actually the biggest challenge we've got is the staycation, but local people do not know what's on their doorstep. They have no idea, and if you can find some research on that, the concept of people very limited understanding. Therefore, we're not, even before we start talking about visitors that are coming in from the area, if we could get the host community out and just going out there and spending money within the district alone and enjoying the district, even if it's just going for a walk and having a cup of tea or going, linking things up, it doesn't take a lot of that to actually start having quite a significant impact on visitor spend and the local economy. But it would just be useful to just capture it. This is why it's important, because this is about getting people to appreciate. And when you start thinking that we've got Chichester Harbour A&B and we've got the National Park, both of those businesses, or entities if we shall say, have a responsibility of raising profile about landscape and engaging people. So this activity is very much linking to their kind of like education agendas. It's almost like a neat activity what you've done, isn't it? You could imagine that being a neat, this is neat, it's linking back to nature and the landscape.
And the final thing I would say, and I shut up, I completely agree with Andy on some of the activities you have identified are great, but you need to de-link them from the seasons, really, because some of them can be done all seasons, and some of the things that you have said actually were not in the right season, really. Kind of going to a farm in the winter, probably nothing much is happening. Doing a campfire in the winter or camping in have you already gone camping in spring? I go camping early May and it's really miserable cold. It can be miserable cold, can be miserably wet.
I just laughed when they had playing in the snow. Good luck with that one, right there.
You never know.
You never know. But I think the essence of it, what you were trying to do with the linkage, I think it's a project that could work. The other one you could throw back and say is, although you've done it 20 things to do, would there be mileage actually in going to the National Trust and saying, actually, what we'd like to do is work in partnership with you to extend your initiative out. And actually, it's a Visit Chichester National Trust initiative where we're extending the 50 things. You've enjoyed doing this at National Trust properties, this is what you can do further afield. And then it would show the National Trust linking with the wider visitor economy. So you've almost got their template that you could expand out. But it would work, it would definitely work. I just got to find the time ready to get someone to do it, because it would. I would seriously put this on, because we're shouting out for family activities, and the website is structured in such a way that it'd be really easy to bolt things on. The other thing I mentioned to you last week that you did pick up is I put a logo on it. Okay, we've got lots of things on the website at the moment. What I could have done is then put the logo on the existing activities to show how they link to this project. Because we've got a lot of this already, a little logo with a hyperlink through to the page. We could have branded some of our existing stuff.
Oh, do you mean like a little...
20 things to do.
Just like one little picture?
Yeah, or a little 20 or in a circle or something. We could put that with the photographs of the existing resource to really start taking some of the stuff we've got already and bolt it into this project. Cool. Okay. What mark would you like?
First, please.
No.
I don't know.
Whatever it is, we can boost it with the podcast because it's sick.
You sound like my 12-year-old. Sick. It's sick. Thomas, that's the new word if you didn't know, George. If it's good, it's sick.
It's been going on for
It's
years.
like-
Yeah, I'm afraid.
Come on, give me realistically, based on our feedback and what you think you've done, where would you park yourself?
I think if it's like a good sort of concept, it just needs polishing, then we would be like in the 2-1 mark, like but a low 2-1.
I would say like high 2-2.
So when you say high 2-2, you're thinking,
Like 57, 58. Sorry.
and you're thinking,
Like 61.
okay. Thank you for that.
Oh,
I'm not telling you what you're getting, I just want to know what you think it might be.
Estimate.
No, I'm going to let you know. We'll let you know. I'm going to let you know today. I think by the time George and I finish, I should be able to release the marks.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
Exciting.
There we go.